I got it over here.
Thank you all for coming. So sorry for the delay. The Wi-Fi was an issue. Thank you, Jenna and Amanda online for coming. We're gonna go ahead and get started, and I will let Elizabeth and Nicole take it away to get us started with the agenda. You've got it there, so.
Okay, well, hi, welcome everybody to our meeting today. We're just gonna go around and offer some very brief introductions. Hello. Welcome. We have some new friends. This is wonderful. So I'll get it started. My name is Elizabeth Roman. I work with the Tampa YMCA, and I'm one of the co-chairs for the Economic Development Group.
Nicole Juby, owner Juby's Farm and Market, co-founder Access to Fresh, and co-chair of the Economic Development Group.
Amina Farah, I'm project coordinator for the city's economic opportunity team and working member of the economic development working group.
Jason Gonzalez, when it comes to communication, communications.
Fatima Alcott, co-founder of Conscious Community Connectors, will be on that. Done some food system work in the past and been involved with you guys peripherally, so excited to be in person today.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Lauren O'Neill. I'm a senior planning coordinator with the city of Tampa, and I'm the project manager for the Sulphur Springs Neighborhood Action Plan.
Hello, everyone. Javier Marin. I'm the director of economic opportunity for the city. Amanda, it's good to see you.
And I'm Savannah Bennett. I'm the Homegrown Hillsborough specialist, and I'm just helping facilitate this meeting. And yeah, Janai just walked in. So.
Hello, I'm Janai Graves. I'm on the economic development team here, and happy to meet you all. Welcome, everyone.
I know, excited.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So Amanda, we're gonna let you kind of take it away for the first.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for coming. We have, our leaders here from the Sulphur Springs Neighborhood Action Club that we invited, and also the county. Amanda from the county is joining us just because we just been trying to keep them in the loop of what we're working on the Fresh Food Initiative. And I know that there was the county was considering allocating some funding to brochure attraction effort with their community investment tax, but we're waiting to kind of see how that plays out. But we just wanted to keep them involved in the conversation. So for anyone who doesn't know, we have about $60,000 allocated for the Fresh Food Initiative in Sulphur Springs next year. And so we just kind of wanted to run some ideas to get your guys' feedback on what you think would be feasible with that budget to, expand some food access in Sulphur Springs. Some of the things we were thinking about is a mobile market, because obviously, we've been talking about it at our last meeting, the importance of collecting that data and, measuring outcomes so that when we can take it back to the city and try to encourage further investment beyond the $60,000 too, that would allow, the neighborhood food hub to actually happen, or the project that you're working on with Project Feeding Ground as well. And so we just want to get your feedback. I think one of the other things we were thinking about is a farmer's market. I know you are working, she is leading the Sulphur Springs Farmers Market. She's elaborating. Okay, so there's an inaugural farmers market in Sulphur Springs next weekend. So if you guys are free, come on, check it out. But I think that would, if we're not doing a mobile market, I think that would be the best other alternative solution for these funds, is that we use it to continue it beyond just the one that they're having next week. And I think both the mobile market and the farmers market will allow us to collect data, understand the buying power of the neighborhood, how interested they are in, and it would all help us push forward to get that further investment down the road. But again, one of my concerns, and I would love to hear from both of you, is how far that $60,000 would go from your lens. I know we were talking about before the meeting started, from your lens, Nicole, already operating a mobile market, that it wouldn't, $6,000 isn't gonna make a mobile market pop up in Sulphur Springs. You're gonna have to work with other community partners along with that $60,000 in order to make it happen. But I don't know if you would just want to kind of explain how you've been working with other, for the people who were here earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. So the mobile market model is not a profitable, sustainable model, right? So when you go into community underserved, it takes a while to get the community to come out. It takes a while to get especially if we're selling produce, right? So lower dollar transactions. So it takes a little bit, probably about 3 years to get those markets sustainable where the community knows that they're coming out and they're spending. So one of the unique approaches that we did was partner with an organization already in the community. So what we're testing starting next week with the Boys and Girls Club in Makuchi is our partner Advent Health is going to supply $10 vouchers for all the kids to use. So then when we go, we automatically know we will receive $700 worth of sales, which covers the cost of the goods that we're bringing, our operating costs, and some program management. Does not really include the cost of an educator. So we're incorporating that in our nonprofit because we have a different sponsorship with Advent. So we're able to pull some of those funds from that. We try to incorporate more than just going in and bringing food, right? We're trying to make it a community building event with education and introduction to what is in season, what is maybe being grown locally right up the road in Dade City, where they could go visit that farm, and then also learning what the kids want, what they're eating at home. And then we do incorporate some physical activity and some mindfulness to really be able to hit all the components of the community health needs action plan, right? So we have multiple needs within this action plan that we're trying to impact outside of food access. So if we have a group of kids together, how can we make them healthier, happier, and have access? So our kind of focus is influence, exposure, access, and excitement, right, is what we typically try to do in our events. So we're excited for that. I think it's a unique approach to bring the mobile market for everybody to shop at, but also make sure it's not going to be a loss leader for us, right? It makes it worth it for us to go, and then we can continue to kind of go. And the other cool part is that's a small kind of sponsorship for even like if I went to a bank and said, hey, for a month, you get to be the sponsor of the kids, right? It's great for advertising, community benefit marketing is what I really like to call it. So it's easier to find sponsors for that. But again, it's still open. We still accept SNAP. We'll double SNAP dollars. So those are programs that you definitely want to consider how to get those incorporated, not too difficult. But then with what we're trying to do, it also would allow us to be able to source from the local growers and pay them a fair wage, right? Mm-hmm. Because we know we'll be able to pay that because we kind of have guaranteed sales. So we'll be able to buy that box of star fruit from that person who harvested 100 pounds. The other potential opportunity maybe would be like a very small format food pharmacy type shed that's been piloted as well. You might be able to get the building site, like how much that costs as far as the building, or do you already have an existing space that it would be low rent, and modeling out like a smaller food pharmacy. The benefit of that would be that you could be open a lot more than if you brought a mobile market in twice a month.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do you guys think?
Yeah,
that would be a great place too. Okay, so we could do.
They have the lockers.
They have a locker, so then that could be part of that partnership where, and you can incorporate community education events with, I know the Well, they're doing some stuff in that area and they have some stuff coming. So I think as far as the access, there's a couple ways to look at. Mobile markets are fun, and they are easy if you don't need like building permits and all of that, right? Like, because you're mobile. But at the same point, it is a very small amount of time you're there for the community. So if they can't shop with you on those one day a week or every other week, there's still that access problem, which maybe could be supplemented with the lockers or something like that in partnership with some of the resources that are already there.
Yeah, that's great. I think when I'm thinking about like the mobile market, one of the needs in Silver Spring that both the mobile market and the farmers market aren't going to meet is that the elderly population can't get to Dream Builders mission instead. And so, I mean, obviously when we put out this RFP, it's going to be open-ended. Like we want to hear from various different mobile market operational structures and farmers markets to kind of see where we want to go. But is it not feasible in the budget to then ask them to maybe because I would love to see if we were able to get a refrigerated truck, because those are not that expensive. They're only about 10, 15, they're not that expensive.
Really?
Yeah, wow. You can get them used for about 15,000. Yeah, but I mean, if you want a brand new one, probably be what, 20,000? It's about 60. Yeah.
I was gonna say like an SUV.
Well, depending on what, like if you want to lift in the back or what. And I also recommend if you're gonna buy used, you need to look at the hours of the reefer unit.
Okay. Okay, well then that's not gonna really be an option, because that'd be the whole entire budget and.
No,
and
but
that's-
there's different things because there's the containers that you can drop. There's other options that
Okay.
are.
Have you purchased any of those at the Y that?
No, we built ours. Actually, we purchased a commercial refrigerator unit that it was only like $5,000. And then if you have a room that's already concrete, you just have to put insulation. All in, we were about maybe $6,000.
But how would they do that? Because there's 3 different like seniors homes that they were identifying in Sulphur Springs. So you would have to do one at each of those sites in order to make it.
Or you could incorporate it within the staff to be able to go and get deliveries or
Delivery,
volunteers or incentives like community, especially if you're trying to do economic development, that might be a good job for somebody. Especially they're only going to 3 locations.
Yeah, and they're all
10 or
within Sulphur
15
Springs,
people,
yeah.
right? So, Health Buddies, we are piloting a project right now with them and it was funded through Humana. And it's to help with senior isolation and access. So every other week, we're contracted to bring produce to seniors that are homebound. Not a profitable project because of how the grant was originally written, but we've learned. So when we wrote the grant, it was we were going to incorporate the cost of the project within the produce bundles, right? So it was a $30 value. So we'll only maybe give them a $20 value and then that $10. Well, now it's turned into about 25 hours of deliveries a week.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then without the administration of like having to track. So now we have to add in all the tracking. So we can definitely sidebar on that. And we have a big part, but maybe we can do another call that we can set up to talk through some of those things. And I can look at a couple of like higher data points. I think that there's a lot that you can do with that. Like you can also build out a refrigerated unit, like you said, $6 to $8,000. It's the mobile side, right? So you might not necessarily need a refrigerated van if you might just need a little cargo van if you're gonna only be delivering for like 30, if you're looking at 30 minutes, and then you have coolers, there's these big coolers that plug in to the back of the van. So it depends on how much food you're going to be distributing and what kind of food, right? If you're only doing produce, it's a little different than if you're gonna try to provide meat and eggs and dairy.
Well, Dream Builders Mission, who's originally submitted that proposal, they said that they wanted to include meat and that they thought that they could service 700 residents at these senior homes a week. So they have a wide reach that they're trying to get to. So I think they would definitely need a little bit more capacity, to get to 700 people a week. So.
But you might also deliver bi-weekly because seniors don't eat a lot. And
No,
if you're
that's
getting
true.
true fresh, like local produce,
It's gonna get spoiled.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I think so too. I think it would be really great if we could, put the funding towards like some of it towards the farmer's market, mobile market, and then a little bit towards getting that van, the refrigeration units, whatever we decide to, that can kind of help meet that need, because I think that's important.
I would say I wouldn't love it, but I think in terms of need, I think getting the deliveries to them is probably, I would say, a higher priority.
Okay.
Yeah, just because there are so many homebound like seniors, especially even not in the homes, in homes, like in the back neighborhood behind the school.
Okay.
Like in terms of like access, like people who genuinely
Really
needed it.
Okay.
Yeah, even if we just did like a block by block like type, like we could explore what that could look like. And then for the mobile market and farmers market thing, just how to be community building, very healthy 22nd Street coded, like, demonstrations, education, here's how to coupon, here's how, like, very like life skills and getting them plugged in and just building the capacity for that for maybe the next round to start having a sustainable model. But at least that groundwork, so we don't have to have the 3 years, I think can get started. We already have the veggie van. We have the food lockers at United Way. Like, I feel like if we stagger those things, they have the demonstration garden in front of Layla's house. Like, if we just use maybe small 10 pay, just to pay for educators' time and like small materials for like a year, have that consistency. I think they just need to see people constantly doing. The seniors want nutrition education, like they want the programming. So I think that could be small, that way it can focus on getting access to the people who need it.
No, I get that for sure.
Are there veterans in that community?
Yeah. Heck yeah,
So there's a couple of overlaps within partnerships that I think we could sidebar on, just even with Health Buddies, and if you're familiar with the Health Buddies program and what they do. But there's I think ways that there could be other grants written for private to support, right? So we know that you're putting down that foundation and this is what the need is. There's quite a lot. When you say 700 residents, like it's a one-time drop right now, but you also have some funding coming for healthy boxes, right? Like the Maha boxes and different things that should be starting to come. So I think that will.
Yeah, that'd be great, because that's what Dream Builders Mission is doing also right now. So yeah, and I mean, Pastor Harrison calls me on like a monthly basis.
I know,
Like,
and
I
I will say, like, in terms of out of everybody that I've seen, Veggie Van is great too. Like Veggie Van, they run out of everything. So like obviously like the need is there, and I think Sober Nas, like what he does shows the need, because it's 400 deep every like it is a lot of people every time you've got.
He already has that buying community, and so like giving him the resources to expand his operations is what Sulphur Springs truly wants to see, is somebody who's already in the community.
Yeah, and his book, Bridging My Gap, they know where to show up. Right next to it, they have the other church that if they want like housing or like wraparound assistance, I think the more we can stagger the programming and services, we gotta get that base pyramid.
Yeah,
There's so many people that are in that like, I need like really bad help situation. Get that covered, do
And
the
then-
programming and build them up here. Cause now then they can be cute and kiki and go to a farmer's market and do all the.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
I get it. But
Yeah, so I think that there's a lot that we can probably address actually through the acre exercise that we're gonna do, as far as that we always look at a triggering event, and this is a triggering
Yeah.
event. So as we go through
you know, that's a great one.
what we're doing, so then, and then I would be happy, I know Elizabeth too, as part of what we're doing, we have hours that we kind of like spend sidebar and with projects, so we can get on a call.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Dig in a little bit deeper
in the
with
conversation.
Data and goals and all of that. So I think that there's the triggering event, we have two that we'll talk about, but this is a huge triggering event for us to develop some of the processes of what we're gonna do today. So.
I love that too. And then one thing I was wondering before we switch gears is, so what is the organization you're working with on the farmers market again?
So technically it is Charlie Adams, who's the Sulphur Springs Neighborhood Association. He's running it through his nonprofit, which is Kids on the River. But the actual two that are doing the work is me and Cam, who is now a resident of Sulphur Springs, but she runs Indian Memorial Market. So she's an event planner and does those things. So we already talked, we had a meeting with Frank earlier this week, and we're already low-key succession planning with love.
Perfect. That's what I was.
Worst case scenario, Cam will take on the farmers market.
Okay.
Worst case, we want it to be Charlie, we want it to continue. But we have to be realistic. So if that's the case, it'll.
Okay, good, because that's what they're planning on continuing that. We can definitely certainly shift these funds towards the need of the elderly.
I think so. That way because it'll be more event. Like they'll have their vendors, I think it's just the gathering, like just to show the community, like, you guys want to gather, you guys want this in your neighborhood, here it is. And then from there, having our pipelines, having the forums, having signups, or would you be interested in something like this? Is this something that you need? Sign up, we can start collecting that data, really identify the need, where are these people located, and then start that shepherding so that it's sustainable long term.
Okay, that's great.
Perfect. And how it relates to kind of our goals is then we can start to, if we know that there's this need, we have local growers that we want to try to source from, that could potentially be one of our outlets. So that is that's awesome. Does anybody online have anything they wanted to add? Just making sure. Cool.
Hi, everybody. Nothing to add, but just absorbing what everyone's saying. Thanks.
Awesome. Very cool.
Quick question, when you guys connect to local growers, how are you guys doing that part of it? Like, how do you guys access it?
Through Homegrown Hillsborough, they have a network. I have a couple growers. I'm in a different county, so I have a couple growers that I've been working with directly. But we have a network where we can filter these growers and kind of start to engage them, especially if we have a specific outlet. How I would probably do it is the bullseye. So who are the growers that are the closest to you? And then what does it look like from the requirements for food safety and different things? And then how can we support with Homegrown Hillsborough and our goals to maybe support this project as well.
Actually, I met somebody on Homegrown Hillsborough's platform, the Farm Pixie. Are you getting?
I know Kim.
She's
super
cool. I
cool.
love her.
Super cool.
Okay, she's super cool.
She is very
And we've been using that of like kind of bridging. Yeah, it's perfect. And like some of the people that I know that like the COVID hobbies that type
Yeah.
of businesses, I
Yeah.
make sourdough and whatever, have been plugged in and they've been like really successful for that. So I think the more that we can have that platform use, I think the best, and getting like, back in the day when we had lemongrass drip, like getting that kind of like background growers onto that platform so that we can identify, oh, okay, Miss So-and-so down the street has a starfruit tree, you know what I mean? They have papayas, they have other, because when they fruit, it's like 50, 60 avocados, all these things. So then having them, and that can be that low-key entrepreneurship pipeline of like, okay, here's what it would take, here's what you do to vend. If you're growing it, you could start it at $1, $2. The seniors are so into that, like they're very scrappy, entrepreneurial. Yeah, they're like, we can grow collard and then we can cook it, and then we can like. So I think the more that we can have like those kind of like ad hoc pipelines of like, this is what it would take, and you're a grower too, and you're a grower, and you're a business owner, and just like that. So that can be like a good bedrock to start all of that.
Okay, one more thing. So have you talked to Amanda Sharp from Root Awakening Farm? So she was originally trying to work with Charlie to get the farmers market. So she might be a connection with people who are now operating farmers market, and she's in Sulphur Springs. So if you want to reach out to her directly, I can give you guys an introduction.
No, we okay, cool. Yeah. So do you think, are they at the, because I know last we talked, we were still building the actual
They had their opening last
weekend.
Yeah,
last weekend, and they're young, they're time on it. So do you think they could like possibly by like spring?
Maybe I don't want to speak for them, but I think that when me and Lord visited them, they
stuff with planted.
and they expressed interest, like, do you know what's going on with that farmers market and stuff, because they wanted to be involved, and it just put less of a burden on the people who are trying to get it rolling.
No, I love that. Okay, that's perfect, because when Cam, Frank, and I spoke earlier this week, end of the year is already looking crazy. Sulphur Springs is already booked, and now they want to have the Christmas boat parade and lighting and all this. So they're booked and busy till the end of the year for events. But I think having at least starting fall, spring, and then hopefully fall, spring, and starting to up the capacity. But then that'll be good to bring Amanda and then for spring. Okay. Yeah. That was productive. I already got 4 pages of notes.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you this is
Recorder.
I didn't want to interrupt you because I was like, maybe that's her process.
It's the flow. It's the flow. The outside type, I'm like,
Anybody who's joined us this summer, either free to stay for our acre exercise we're going to be working through. But okay.
This has been awesome. Thank you
Nice
so
to
much.
meet you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Amanda.
Take care.
Thank you.
Very cool. All right, so we're gonna.
I'll do the background first, and then I'll turn it over to you guys. So some of the members of Homegrown Hillsborough have completed this acre facilitation training, which stands for Agri-Cluster Resilience and Expansion. And so we're going to practice our newly acquired skills with a modified acre facilitation, which we're doing with all 3 of the working groups. And the goal is to kind of strengthen our working groups and engaging more network members to participate. And so this is a modified version due to the fact that like we've already done some of the steps for the acre facilitation and we have limited time. So we kind of, the HH team kind of took some time to decide what exactly we need to do and what's like the most valuable stuff for us. So I'm going to be like the facilitation lead. This actually for this group, it's going to be Dahlia, but she's out of town. So for now, this is the intro. It'll be me for today, I guess. But our co-chairs are going to be like the co-chairs of the core group, which is like they have a lot of lingo in acre. But luckily, 3 out of the 4 members have done acre, so you guys are pretty good. So you guys have to be active participants. And then okay, so I guess I kind of talked about this a little bit. It's professionally facilitated strategic planning process to help groups of farmers. This is what acre is. Especially when value chains work together and compete more effectively. So we're identifying shared concerns, shared history, values, to develop like that strategic work plan. And that's what the agri-cluster, that's what that word is like the group of people. Sorry, I'm used to having 2 screens. Okay. So the schedule of how this is going to go is October, we're doing the core group exercises. November, we'll be working on workshopping the goals. And then in December, we're going to have our final planning activities, and January is the Acre Summit. So January will be the like kind of big product of this next couple months, where we'll be trying to get, our goal is to have 20 people, I guess members, 20 people attend the meeting outside of the working group so that we can have more consistent like outside people coming in, versus just the voting members. Cause I don't know about you guys, usually when there's more people, you have better, it's a better conversation. You can work with people, you can get more people's input with different backgrounds. So that's what our next couple working group meetings are gonna be like. And
So we have that as January 8th, right? Because the first is on the Thursday. So then we do
So
the
the second
second
would be-
Thursday, just
Yes.
to kind of make sure that that's plugged in as, because if we're trying to get 20 people, it's almost like start
yes, start
now, because you're coming right after the holiday, right?
Exactly.
So
It doesn't. So I will let, if you guys want to kind of walk through this a little bit, just like like I said, just for people who, perfect.
Perfect. So, oh yeah, I can just read it off of that. So basically, when these agri clusters happen, there's a triggering event. So we have two different triggering events that we're looking at. One is we're trying to increase membership of our group. And then two, there's opportunity within funding that was just brought kind of to our group. And in addition to opportunities with grants that Homegrown Hillsborough will have. Then you have your catalysts. So catalysts are the people that are actually here in the room, right? That we're the ones that are really trying, and that's what we want to have. We have lots of catalysts out in the community. How do we get them to come into our group to help us? But they typically would reach out to a facilitator and say, hey, I need you guys to facilitate. But we have catalysts and then we have facilitators. So we just kind of put the two together. And then there's a workshop for strategic planning. Our group leadership is already established because we've already done that process. Same thing with we have facilitators that have gone through the training. And so we're kind of in that preparing to launch phase before we get into we're in the workshop phase. We're kind of in between preparing to launch, and now we've moved into the conducting the workshop. So the next 3 months will be us conducting that 2-day workshop that they talk about in the training, but just in a condensed matter. And then we go into an implementation of what we decide at the summit will be where we will start that implementation. Did I do that right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And then, of course, the goal is to continually look at the program improvements, opportunities, and how we can best serve our community and incorporate. I know we don't have a lot of the farming community here, but that's something, because they're not here, and this is for that, really trying to get more of them in the room to see how they can support these initiatives, I think has been a goal of ours as well.
Sounds like you have the ear of the community, so it'd be nice if eventually we can engage some of them.
What's the value add for them coming into the group when we sell it to them? Like, especially farmers, they're going through, I think, the hardest time ever. So when we tell them you're coming here because X, Y, and Z, yes, I see the agricultural cluster, from an organizing perspective, I think that's a huge value add of get connected, that way when things happen, when we need to advocate together, you have your groups, you're not alone, you're not in a silo. That's one. Are there any other, with Homegrown Hillsborough's network and being plugged in with IFES, are there resources and stuff that we can say okay, you're struggling with X, Y, and Z. Kids don't want to take over the land. You're trying to get bought out. You're having issues with your water. You're having issues with your irrigation. Do we have established pipelines that'll be easy for them to be as part of being part of this group, you'll be easily tapped into these resources or get assistance or technical assistance or X, Y, Z? Question mark.
I think if you get involved in Homegrown Hillsborough, we can lead anyone to the resources that they need in general. But I think the value of joining this specifically is to connect with people, create that networking like we're talking about, but also more sales, right? That's kind of the point. Economic development.
Yeah, to be part,
On some level.
they're gonna be part of the project if they join, which means they get to help steer it in the direction that it goes. Versus coming to participate once it's formed, they're actually part of the steering process, which in turn will make it more beneficial for them because they were part of the decision making.
Yeah, and kind of our goal as a working group is to connect 20 producers to 5 either restaurants or different corner stores.
Okay, yeah. That's what I mean. Okay. Wait, so you connect at least 20 producers to 5 restaurants/corner stores?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I need.
Yes.
That's the bottom line, that they're gonna be I don't have time. I gotta be out all day.
Their voice can be heard as what's needed for economic development. So if they don't show up to share the problems of X, Y, and Z, it's not understood that that's a need for economic development to keep them from losing their farm. So I think that that's a huge gap is like, and I 100% get it because they don't have that time, but also having farmers at the table in these meetings, their voice is heard. It does, like you said, steer us.
I also want to say I'm very anti-meetings as well. Our meetings are concise and to the point. So they're not gonna come here just to hear a lot of fluff. We get to business and then everybody goes home because we have things to do. But
And then last really quick question, so when we have different pathways of engagement, so could they, you know, like the rings of engagement, so could you have somebody on the outer ring that's just like, just keep me in the loop, I don't really want to steer, I just want to be connected to the resources and things that I need, versus the middle, like, I'll show up when I can I show up virtually, can I, you know, do surveys, and then the core steering group, do we feel okay with those pathways?
Absolutely.
Yay, okay.
So the first one would be to join Homegrown Hillsborough's platform if they're not already. That's kind of that outer ring.
that will be the outer
And
ring.
so that's the best way to stay involved and be informed. And there's also a producers group within Homegrown Hillsborough, which is and then there's an access group too. So there's multiple ways to kind of get involved. And all the meetings are recorded too, so they can go back and catch it. And all can be all are hybrid. Perfect.
Is there a requirement for?
Even it's just somebody interested in the food system, really. There's not a requirement for anybody to join the Homegrown Hillsborough network. It's just somebody, it's if you
want to do work in the food system, volunteer or otherwise, if you're interested and want to do stuff, it's for the people who want to do stuff, not just like someone who's like, well, I just want to support farmers. But like, if you want to do something to support farmers, either,
I love that.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on to, if you guys want to talk about consent-based decision-making, because this is kind of a key part of it.
Yes, I'm gonna start it and might miss something and catch up. So the consent-based decision-making is a very important part of this process because it shows that everybody needs to be in agreement before you move forward. And then not necessarily mean an agreement and then everybody needs to be really on board, but that there's no critical concerns that are being left on the table. Like what you were saying earlier about support for water or whatever, nothing that's being ignored or to the side. Like, we're not gonna deal with that now, ignore it. No, we want to make sure that everybody brings their concerns to the table. And before the group moves forward, there needs to be an anonymous consent. And if not, that concern needs to be addressed accordingly.
So it's kind of, there might be that spot where you agree to disagree on what the goal is and how we're going to move forward from that. You know, so we have all these different goals. We just put a bunch on the table, right? But, you know, understanding that a critical concern is something that would stop us from meeting that goal. So we might not all agree on what the outcome is or what the goal we're going after, excuse me. But we're going to go, okay, there's no critical concerns. And if there are some that we can't move through, then we can kind of talk through that and sidebar that. And really, as the co-facilitator and facilitators, we'll dig into that a little bit more too. Do you have anything else you want to add for critical concerns?
Just the critical, what that means is, will the concern stop us from achieving our goals? So like Elizabeth said, we're not voting like yes or no, we're voting yes, I consent to move on. Yes. And that like things, we can come back to it if we need to, but if it's something that's a critical concern, that is where we draw the line. Because it's a little different than just our normal, like I said, yes or no. So this is a like statement of expectations that we kind of want everyone to be aware of. So I'm just gonna straight up just read them. So the responsibilities of the core group are that the co-chairs will be the primary supports the facilitator. Secretary is the reporter, so you have to be the record keeper. You kind of already do that. And our currently scheduled working group meetings will serve as workshop 1, 2, and the Acre Summit. We're going to create and maintain a contact list of all participants, which we already have as a working group. Encourage participation through outreach invitation to stakeholders. Develop and maintain ground rules that are established by the core group, which is our next slide. And recognize that outcomes of the Acre workshop will not always comport to everyone's expectations. So that is our statement of expectations. We might have to sign it in paper. I will look.
We are.
Yeah, I'm like, it should be. I think I refer to while we're working on something else. So I'll take, we can sign it while we're doing some of the sticky note activities.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because like there'll be some time for me to do that. So you guys will go over the ground rules. We did leave 5 open if anybody had any other suggestions.
Perfect. So all content of this group discussion belongs to the group and only to the group, but we are open recorded meeting, so it actually is available to everybody.
So be aware.
Be aware. Yes, just be aware. 1, 2, 2.
Oh, sure. Ground rule 2, the facilitators will act impartially with nothing to lose or gain in the proceedings. The facilitator will bring neutrality to the ACRE process and will not take sides.
And then the facilitator will turn off their cell phone during all ACRE meetings and encourage others to do the same.
And then full participation is expected in person and on time. And then number 5, I guess if there's another ground rule that you guys would like to add.
Anything? We feel good about these rules.
Is there anything that you want to add? Do you think that we should add?
When you guys say ground rule 3 of turning off the phone, so you can turn off the volume or turning off the phone?
I mean, I think it just means don't be on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay. And so like the facilitator mainly, right? So they're fully engaged in that process. Absolutely.
I was like, I was reading off my, because for this, I was reading off of it because I don't have my computer linked to the Wi-Fi. Okay, so no additional ground rules. We feel good about those. Okay, and so like we already created a problem and opportunity statement. This is part of ACRE is creating a problem and opportunity statement, but it's already kind of out there. So I don't know if you all want to read it.
Sure. Homegrown Hillsborough working groups are struggling with network engagement, attendance requirements, and investment of group goals.
And then the opportunity, as we mentioned, there's financial and technical resources available to support our three working groups, which are economic development, food production, and food access.
So this goes to what we were sharing with you earlier. If the people are willing to join our meetings, then we actually can work on the problems, but we can't work on them by ourselves. We need people to do that.
Honestly, this is the most
Attendance
we've
we
ever
had.
had.
I got really excited. I got really excited. This is so really.
Cool.
Okay.
So if you want to peel it, I might need to stick it over there. So we have sticky notes, and everyone take one. We can share. I don't know.
Do you feel like
Yeah.
this is where, from a history standpoint, like
Yeah.
cell phone use might be like,
You can use your phone on this.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that might be valuable.
There's some little people that are like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can do that.
but I'm just thinking from a history standpoint, I'm excited to learn more about the history.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say 15 minutes on this. So basically kind of write down anything that you know of. You don't fill those in, yeah, sorry. Just this one for now, I'll do the other ones. And then just kind of take some time, write some things that we want to stick on there. Either local, state, national history, or personal history, how you got activated in this space. And you write more than one, stick them up there, and then we'll kind of see where our shared history overlaps.
So this is, history of the food system, right?
Yeah, like just food, anything that has to do with food system. It could have to do with funding. It could have to do
Or
with
even just the personal level too, if something like triggered you to get involved in this work.
Right.
When did that happen? How long?
Exactly. Okay, so I'm gonna start my little timer.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you can split them up.
Like break it up and.
Like, we don't
Yeah.
have as many people.
Yeah. And I didn't give them a heads up. I invited people to that. So that's fine.
It's okay. Invite them more often.
I
It's
know.
fine. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're right.
Oh,
We died on this.
Fast. I just can't bring myself to these while they were stuck together.
Oh, and then Jenna.
She can hear you.
Okay.
They just thought-
If you want to put yours in the chat, and then we'll take care of it from there.
I was
And then
thinking-
Amanda. I don't know if Amanda.
Okay,
Yep,
thanks.
perfect.
What were those?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Share my operations from Homegrown Hillsborough. You're doing all those field trips.
Oh, the summits?
The summits. I
Summit.
was like, oh,
Oh, that's a good one.
What did you think this was?
I'm using it for dates,
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
thinking.
because I was like, I don't know when
This
citrus.
is literally, my first one's so like, random, I can't even think of the name of the place I'm talking about, but it's Orlando.
Oh, forward.
Forward, okay. What was the other one called? Forwards and Monkey.
Ebony Nutrition.
Yeah, yeah. Have you
That
guys
would-
ever heard about them? Both of them are really awesome.
That might be a good-
programs. Really?
Like-
Four Roots is what, it's huge. It's like, four, yeah. What's the restaurant they're associated?
Four Rivers.
Four Rivers.
Oh.
Yeah, and they have like this huge, yeah, it's super cool. The facility that they're building out is like an event center, it's a farm. Yeah, it's probably done, because we went like a year ago. It's super cool. And then Ebony Nutrition, they started maybe, I think it was like 30 years ago. Kind of like just teaching nutrition classes, and now they've got $1 million grant from Advent Health to build out like a grocery store in a food desert in Orlando.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so that's like, those like long-term goals, you know what I mean? But yeah, so they have a really great system that they're building out there, you know?
Great case study.
And they're amazing, like to reach out and they,
Yeah, that was such an informative trip that we went on, for sure.
and they have a couple mobile markets.
Yeah, that's so true. I didn't even think about that last week. Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, that's.
I think every other one is like a.
Those ones that come out like an accordion.
Yes, yes. Just didn't catch them, right?
That's okay.
Jen. Welcome. It's great.
Then they're gonna bring that from them. Some of them
Then I
are,
can move mine right here. There you
yeah,
go.
you can move a few of mine that are in all the categories.
That was natural, right? Jenna?
This one's. Increasing of the phone.
It'd be so weird.
I know, like to.
Yeah.
Any issues left?
Changes.
That's.
I love it. Look at this engagement. It's amazing.
No, hold on.
Yes. Sure, you got those.
Yep, I got those. 20-year growth, got the development.
Oh, yeah, look at the Uber driver was on this stuff.
And then personal.
Some clouds done. There.
All right. Do we have any more? So we can go through what we have, and then there was the question prompt if you want to go back to the slide as well. All right, so. All right. And so kind of what we do after we looked at it is like combine the ones at the same.
That's the next one.
Oh.
But I think that if you everyone can read through them and if you see ones that are like Tim, I mean, you can part out.
All right, so fresh fruit and veggie program in Hillsborough County Schools kind of aligns with Amanda with what you're saying for the state level, which was in 2012.
Oh,
so that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Think of the date. Yeah.
We had a lot of homegrown Hillsborough forums, local, like that's a historic event for our community. It's not something that's been done before. The City Homegrown Hillsborough application for the regional food system, the food system grant. So that's how that's how Homegrown Hillsborough was formed. So that's definitely huge history. Why Mama went from rural to more suburban. So that's like a huge shift. Feeding Tampa Bay, their new building. So that local history, because now that's a huge part of having facilities. State, 2005, we had citrus greening start, which really impacted the citrus industry. Community engagements with farmers showed me the changing landscape for farmers. So over time of history, the landscape for farmers has looked really different. We have a school meals transition again, homegrown Hillsborough summits, trip to Orlando and Ebony Nutrition. Then we have kind of state, national, the cattle farmers, land scrap habitat sold to developers. So a lot of the development stuff happening. 2020 COVID, we have that in a couple things, food system stuff there. Working at more of a systems level to connect programs and resources, changes in direction of economic support for programs, MAHA agenda, 2010 Hunger Free Kids Act, so farm to school meals. And then for personal, my family has always been and still are ag workers. So that's a personal engagement. That's incredible.
I like that.
Oh, beautiful. That's really cool. What a neat perspective to bring to this. Come from my ag background with my grandfather from Cuba, always have been interested in growing your own food as a sovereignty resiliency strategy. Working with TPO, got involved with Garden Steps program with COCG, Coalition of Community Gardens. Got it, okay. Working with community gardens, met with Whitlam Organics and Monica. Perfect.
Nice.
Based in Waimama, workers with migrant farmers. So the migrant farmers workers exploring pathways for them to own, produce, and sell, and do native plant management for Wildflower Foundation. Started as a gardener in 2010 and became a farmer in 2020. Yay! Amazing. Yeah, that's awesome. 2017, I bought land and also kind of started to become a farmer. And then Hillsborough County Economic Development Group was established. Oh, sorry, Hillsborough County Economic Development Group is what brought Amanda. And then for all three, kind of it was population and then COVID over on that side. So, yeah, how did everybody get activated in the space? We have some time, right? So on the,
Yeah.
do you want to start online? You want to just share your quick stories and then we'll just go around?
Good presentation, by the way.
We're learning as we go. We're learning as we go.
We're technically all hired as consultants. We're on their website.
So I know you guys put it in the chat, but did you want to just share briefly, like, why you're activated and why it's important for you to be in this space?
I can go first. So I was a registered dietitian and spent most of my career in school nutrition. And so during that time, got interested in farm to school and passionate about that. And so then as I transitioned into consulting, wanted to focus some of my efforts on farm to school and continuing to bring local foods into the school system. And then when Homegrown Hillsborough was started, it kind of coincided when I was doing that. So that's what kind of brought me to the space.
Awesome.
And I can elaborate a little bit further on my original response. I was I am still, with Hillsborough County Economic Development. And then we got involved with the kind of grocery project. And then it spilled over into the USF project with the local food economy group and their food think tank to try to identify food deserts and things like that. And then Amanda was gracious enough to invite me over to this group to just kind of oversee what you guys are working on as well, just to have a little bit more of a holistic view of what's going on. So thank you again for including me.
Oh, it's awesome to have you. It's amazing. All right, Elizabeth. Savannah, do you want to share now that you're facilitating?
Sure.
So,
Sure. So I actually started in the food system space when I was in fourth grade. We were learning about recycling, and I was like, what if we recycled all the bananas that go bad at the grocery store? So my class rescued bananas from the grocery store and made banana bread and sold it.
Wow.
As a project.
Okay, who's this?
No idea. I've been trying to find the newspaper article about it, but it's so long.
Shut up, you have to.
I know what happened. So that's really my origin story.
That's awesome.
But I actually started I got my master's in 2020 in sustainability with a focus on food. And in 2020, I was volunteering with an organization with my colleague Dahlia, which a lot of you may know from Hillsborough. And that organization decided with COVID, they were going to take a step back, and we were like, no, we want to keep doing this work. So we founded Well-Fed Community. We joined the Well, and I've been involved since then, but I took a full-time job elsewhere. And then when Homegrown Hillsborough was hiring again last year, I was like, all right, I really want to get back into food systems. So I took a leap, quit my job, did part-time with Homegrown Hillsborough, and then this year, this position was offered to me to go full-time. And so now I'm here. Every conference, I'm probably gonna do a thing about it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. And then we'll go to the next exercise. You want to just this part first, and then that's where we'll transfer to the next.
So we're gonna do it to the shared values. So,
Yes.
anybody else want to quickly share what got you into the work? Anyone? I know we got a lot of it on there. So perfect. All right.
You take a picture of that, and we can just stick all these on the back here. And then next worksheet.
Man, tattoos are tattooing. Those are nice.
Right?
Yeah. Love it.
So I'll do this. More students.
I was like,
Mostly nuts. There are 4 sections here.
All right. How long do we have for this?
I would do, let's do another, yeah, we'll do another 15.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is your shared values. So values are the framework within which the group will operate and pursue its vision. But as you can see, we have different, like, I don't even know what to call these, like sections or different categories of values. So if you want to write them down at the end, what we're going to do is we're going to see where they overlap. And then we'll put that on a separate thing and kind of talk about. So we're going to go for shared values, and then after that is a vision. Okay. Yeah. So let me start the time.
Ready, 116.
Yeah.
We
more sticky notes?
I put them back in. Right.
Do just like maybe one value per, you know.
As many, I mean, as many as you want, whatever are like your like core values. That is what we want to see.
But we want to put our sticky notes already into these categories, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So they should fit into a category. And pretty much anything that doesn't fit the other ones might just go in first. Yeah.
Example, the lady gave, and nobody had her value.
Oh, yeah.
I see, okay. Yeah, let me see. Oh, yeah, it's not coming up a little.
Let me see.
Ah, there you go, okay.
No, it's go far away. Okay, both need a long one.
I'm trying to check this out.
You guys will be the ones reading it. Together.
He's there, I don't know if you're like, I think I said.
Just here, we have it in the chat, so.
That's good.
We're good.
What do you get at? Oh, we just asked the budget vendor for them and we like take it out of our budget. Or they'll make it.
Oh, ew.
It's awesome.
It's causing me to hook up because this that hard doors is so expensive.
Yeah, I know, like $3 a month. Yeah.
Wild.
That's why we got some poor people who come to our meetings because it's all, you know,
So the Lord, like,
it's not fair, you know.
this is right. This is what we usually park. I'm like, park over here. I'll drive you.
Yeah. Talk about a barrier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. To downtown in general.
Exactly.
And that's where you expect people to come for public meetings
Exactly.
and comment. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you guys want to come for planning, you just have to submit on Tampa Connect or platform.
There's zero chance we pay for it out of our budget, but I could probably, so, you know, Austin, Britt? Okay, he's the partner. We were on the student planning organization board with him, yeah.
He's good, sir.
Yeah.
Once in a while,
They probably, you know, they have the budget.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, like before I was here.
Wow, so cute.
Yeah, I can do it too. Amanda, do you have any you would like to share in your values?
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm being too wordy and typing.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Start sending them so we can start writing.
This is so around here.
So many more.
Yeah.
Funny, all different ages too.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I mean, it's pretty.
That's
Millennial.
Yeah.
There's no matter.
You were born in 1990 to 95.
I want.
It's funny.
Interesting. Well, timeless.
Yeah.
I'm about Laura. Yeah.
Okay.
Laura.
And you scroll.
Lauren's a little bit
It's a
more.
down row.
Edgy Laura.
Lauren.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Two other Laurens, a Laura and a Laurel.
Wow.
At the planning group.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Let's see, this might have a. I use the brush for this. I did today.
He will. Yeah. He has a. They call them
For teamwork, what category is that? Social?
Great. Yeah, so for me, like, helping small businesses get loans.
I know. So
Yeah, so
You know the hats with the tattoos. Yeah, you know, nice to listen to, you know, no, my favorite people.
Amanda? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, when you wrote teamwork, is that part of economics?
Listen, I used to go to a place that was on things a lot, and like, I used to like be about it, not hide it here. Listen, yeah, I never got this on Instagram, girl. Yeah. Holy shit. First of all, I didn't know this was a blog. That's a lot.
that's great. I mean, that's not the billboard that's on Kennedy.
my God, and those billboards, every time I'm like, they're just.
Yeah.
I just think my mom tells me, they're translucent.
No, the one that was like the blonde was
Yeah,
Your Nebraska.
And she edited it. The social.
Okay,
where you go?
Thank
you, Amanda.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I didn't know you could edit your chart.
It's so funny.
Learn
So
something
even though I don't
new.
go there anymore, like mine are just sort
Ew, yeah, I wanna see.
Congrats.
of.
Go back.
Yeah, we were in the student planning organization, it was COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we bonded a lot.
weren't allowed to do.
Oh, gee. Okay, so as we're finishing up here, what we're gonna do is the co-chairs are gonna kind of like review them and then put the shared values, the ones that are truly shared, into that bigger box. And then ones that we don't see repeats of are gonna be considered put in the parking lot. So it doesn't mean that they don't matter, it just means that maybe you're the only person who has that as your value. So it's not like the group's shared values, it's just your value, which is okay. So just to give you an idea of what we're doing here. So we're going to condense them to kind of see what our shared values are, because our next step will be our vision. So it'll take that from the values.
All right.
So we'll start with the first.
One kind of put them together and then.
Quality of life and a better place to work and play.
All personal level. I mean, it's from a, like, it's like, I don't know.
And make it.
You know, like, you know, we're talking neighbors. So like.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like.
Exactly.
Kind of like. With the new generation, like I noticed, like.
Yeah,
they
that's
do-
true.
Yeah, like little things, we're all the same, we just, things like that. But when we went to, PSCA, it was like a whole like Gen Z board. And they said, oh my gosh, it's fidget spinners, we're all having our meeting, like literally like swiveling in chairs, playing hot things, and I was like, I love this.
Yeah, I
love it. It was great. It's like us, the creators of PSCA, it was.
I guess it doesn't matter there by quadrant. Yeah.
Because they fall together. Because even we have like a collaboration and a couple of sustainability.
It's nice to actually go through this exercise a little bit, because after we
Yeah.
did the training, we were all like.
It's a
okay,
lot.
In this training, we don't feel like we fully understand.
To do.
Yeah, so that's kind of why we're doing, it, so we can understand.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I love
It's
it.
a mini.
Yeah, it's a mini, let's
Condensed.
understand it. Yeah.
This is like just like an 8-hour day. Like,
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, killing it.
This is good. I love this.
And
I
I'm
think
good
the
training.
training, it works. Y'all are doing a good job.
Great.
Trust me, we have been in lots of facilitations that are like, you know, you're there for 8 hours and you're like, now what? Yeah, no, like you guys are doing this and too, and we're already making so much progress. You can understand. So.
Yeah, the training was really great, honestly. Yeah.
You can do it anytime if you're interested in.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, it was like $60.
Yeah. For the 10-hour
I would
course.
love to, honestly, like, I would love to do that. Just something else to add.
And with that, you get membership. It's really, you buy membership to the North American Food Systems Network, and then that is part of one of your benefits. So that's kind of where it is. And you have a year to, it's like a year membership, so you have a year to do that.
So like, you did a cohort, but it.
Yeah, you should on your own.
Oh.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, you watch a video, take a quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There were definitely some of them, I'm like, which one did I get wrong?
Literally,
And
I
I'm
was
like, just guessing other ones. Like,
That's actually why I haven't gotten.
oh, wait, you didn't finish.
Because I have, well, I finished it, but it's showing to that,
Oh
yeah,
my God, okay, I agree.
I get, and I went back to do
like,
it.
this is the probably just like
Because this one is,
we had check-in, I think they have three 2 hour check-ins. Hour and a half.
First one's 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think that. Yeah. But the video also, I thought was the consent-based decision making. I thought was one of the most valuable concepts. I guess no red flags,
Right.
you know, the sustainability environment. Yeah. Especially for, you know, actually figure out how we're gonna get to 20. Yeah. That's like, you're gonna start making those connections. Community. So how many people are showing up for the food producer meeting? None.
Same as yours. Yeah. And sometimes we get like 1 or 2 extra people, but they're working like everyone else on recruiting. So
Yeah.
we'll kind of see.
And well, people trying to be a food producer, but are there actual on their group, like people who are farmers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Georgia from Sustainable Living Project.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's a community gardener. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on there. And then Kenny from Middleton. Yeah, but
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
How are they trying to recruit producers? Yeah, I'm just curious. We need to recruit producers too. It's not like how are.
I really think, all of our work groups are kind of not doing the exact same thing, but like if there's so much overlap that like we almost kind of want to like make you guys all work together.
Yeah,
But-
no, I agree, you know, like.
But then it's scheduling.
Yeah.
Because we're getting 5 people in a room.
Well,
enough.
yeah.
So it's kind of like, and that's kind of why we're doing this, kind of see how we can shape what we're doing
Yeah.
a little bit more. Yeah. Now that we're doing it a little bit,
Right.
we need a little more.
Yeah.
Sure.
shaping.
Yep. We're getting this to be expected, you know?
Yeah, it's our first time doing this.
Yeah, it's just started.
I'm sure, in the future, we'll do this first.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
We didn't know yet.
That's how we learn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like we've done stuff, like, we gave out our mini grants and stuff.
Yeah.
already. So, it's not
There's a couple people that I've met at the Bob's event that I don't know. I guess there's some overlap too, but one lady who's she's a farmer, but she's out in Sydney. She's like, "Can I join your group? I'm not in Hillsborough." I'm like, "I guess." I'm like, "I don't know the value of that because you're like in
Right.
They
If she
have
wants to do business in Hillsborough, that would be great.
if she wants to do
Do business, if she wants to do business.
Yeah,
If she
exactly.
wants to expand to like.
Expand. Yeah,
Then
that's
yes.
what I would think.
Even if she's not doing any work here, probably not.
Yeah. It is.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's coming to my.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
She said she would wait till like.
You think that?
That's great. A lot of sharing.
I think so. We're gonna probably work together to like determine what that word is. There's a lot of words that we
Yeah, so we'll create like a summary of this, but really the next one is the next. So we want to just kind of give us like the big pictures.
So we'll just do a quick overview so that a lot of transparency, quality of life, so creating a better place to live, work, and play, which kind of, and then it goes into some of this with caring, kindness, compassion, common goal and collaboration was a huge one, regenerative and sustainability, inclusion, so we have respect, dignity, fair, equity, inclusion, multi-perspective, equal opportunity, a lot of workforce, and creating skilled jobs, like alternative workforce pathways, and then in the parking lot. We just had quality and philanthropic, but philanthropic can kind of fit in and quality could probably fit in there too. So looks like we have a lot of shared values. Right? So then we'll put that down as our share. Are you taking notes or just okay, perfect. And then it's connection, collaboration.
Do their own two parking lots.
Yeah, those are the.
Quality and.
Yeah.
Choosing.
Oh, that's not my for Cuba. Thanks. It's so good. Everybody's like participating too. Like that's been a lot of sticky notes.
Why are they sticky notes not sticky?
Yeah, some of them don't say.
Equal opportunity.
Why is it so hot?
They're like little flutters.
Oh, that thing was pretty. But you're also wearing a jacket, so you're probably not. All day, right?
Okay.
All right, so our next stop is going to be shared vision. So we want to know what your vision is for the future. It's not like an operational goal, but it's an ideal that guides the project over the long term. So what would you like the next generation of your families, friends, significant others to say about what we have achieved as an agricultural community? So it's kind of a big statement. So we'll see what everyone says and then see if we can make one all together.
Oh, it's fine.
I was surprised.
Okay, then.
I was like, that's not okay. I thought that was a listed thing, and I was like, wait.
Oh, that's hard to write it.
I know.
Actually, I had my interview with Devin.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say what I said here.
Okay, there you go. Workshop. I mean, thanks, Jenna. She's hopping off.
Oh, bye.
Yeah, she already left.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, bye.
Okay.
bye.
Maybe since you have some.
Yeah.
Like definitely.
They're doing a.
Oh, yeah.
There's a farm to school conference, national conference, I think, in Tampa next year.
That's great. We'll all be there.
Homegrown Health.
Yeah, we're in Homegrown presence.
I think that's what someone here told me.
Great at that.
Yeah. They have used for just started out bench. And I was there with like, now we started. You know, in December 17th or whatever, they started, January, whatever.
Yeah, that's so true, because they have to do right after I had left.
Yeah, so I'm there with like, well, it's gonna all of her friends.
We did get another
Yeah.
online.
We're like, he.
Oh,
You
yes.
know, whatever.
Well, yes.
Don't talk to them all night. When it comes to another vibe, I'm like, okay, you know, they're scared because they're little kids. And we walked into the bar and funny blizzards. She wasn't, I literally.
That's like, what are you talking about? This is a whole thing.
Share.
Yeah, congratulations. You got it.
Yeah, oh, it's just.
Pretty serious.
You learn by doing.
Yes.
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 And everybody's just scared to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
It's like such,
Like,
It's still low.
yes, but now the pressure is a little bit different because you know, facilitating them. Okay. But anyway, she.
wow, you know.
This. Oh God, in person, it's such a strange thing, but like not as much. The shoes are really size 13. Yeah. So
We are doing, even
It
with
was
the
so
added,
nice.
yeah, but I literally was like, if we get more of it, with having that added.
So good. You guys, your team is very just from an interaction of like.
Thank you.
Especially because the other three of you guys have done it, so you have a better concept of like what we're doing. And I should explain some more to the other. All right, so you guys all feel good about your visions? So we're gonna try to put it into one vision statement.
Wow.
If you want to read them, and then maybe like write on the board, maybe like your draft the statement.
All right, so we have conserve land where people learn and know how to grow their own food. Kids know how to grow their own food and make healthy choices. I know where and who produced my food. I have a relationship with them. Build a collaborative food system that increases food access and economic opportunities for vulnerable communities. Knowledge and confidence to create personal food gardens in all communities. Connected, equal access to fresh food. Impact of the way food was grown, distributed, and accessed. Tampa Bay region led the way in program implementation and tests. Preservation. Imagine a large family table where everyone in the community belongs, contributes, and has a place. Right? An inclusive, sustainable, prosperous food hub system that supports our overall community. Multi-level education on how ag community affects rural, urban, and suburban lifestyle. And
You might want to read it over there.
oh, sorry. If you can
Reinvigorate the agricultural industry as an economic engine that is able to be self-sustaining using new technology to predict and address potential challenges while providing a comfortable quality of life for its workers.
Okay, Amanda.
All right, so what are the key themes then that we see?
I have food access.
Okay.
Familiarity with the food system. Preservation. Sustainability.
And like more integrated, collaborative.
Yeah.
So, integrated. There's a lot of inclusive
equity, like imagine a place where everyone's together, right? So.
I think given we are that work here, we can put something.
I did put economic
Economic.
development.
Yeah, like about increasing jobs or whatever you want to phrase it as, but.
And sustainability, maybe more like in program sustainability within
In like,
jobs.
yeah, for sure.
Also for like innovative, we have like new technology.
Yeah.
so Kind of experimental, pioneering.
Yeah.
So how do we make that a statement? Can we talk about ours? So when we're thinking about like what our next generation's gonna say about the work that we do, right?
I'll knock that out.
See, while we do
Take
it.
a picture of it and upload it.
An integrated collaborative food system.
That's what I was thinking.
What is it? Oh, and take a picture, put it in chat. You can take a picture of it and put it in the chat.
On my phone.
Yeah.
My daughter taught me
I
that.
feel like
And
those
I'm like,
keywords really hit on everything.
It's interesting. But my co-founder of my nonprofit is phenomenal. He says his team, right? So
And
the
it's-
team,
ChatGPT comes in clutch.
There's a lot of good AI tools.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, okay, so it says, we envision an integrated
Okay.
and collaborative food system
Okay.
that ensures, wait, don't write it yet, that ensures access to nutritious food
Like how you can get.
while
the
fostering
most
familiarity,
from it.
education,
Yeah.
and preservation of local traditions. Our approach is inclusive, economically sustainable, and innovative, paving the way for a pioneering model that strengthens community connections and promotes long-term resilience and well-being. That's like,
Okay.
that's too long. Let me say shorter, hold on a second, because that's like.
2 sentences.
Your original definition and priority area definition was help the network grow through cross-sector collaboration and enhance quality of life for Hillsborough County residents. So maybe that with more stuff.
So here's a shorter one. We envision an
Yeah, it says
inclusive,
cross-sector
sustainable food
collaboration.
system that promotes access, education, and collaboration while preserving local traditions and inspiring innovation.
I love
That's
that.
all right, but it's still missing the economic.
Well, we talked about economic is
That could be our
and create a better place to live.
Yeah.
As well.
That is
with
the overall
education and
quality of life.
access. Yeah, right. You want to write? Let's comment again. All right.
We envision an inclusive,
Okay.
sustainable food system that promotes access, education, and collaboration
All the best.
while preserving local traditions and inspiring innovation.
And what about so we have inspiring innovation, but what about creating opportunity?
All those. So local traditions, creating opportunities and inspiring innovation.
So local tradition.
Is local traditions what we meant by preservation?
I know, right?
I mean, it's a good thing, but
Yeah.
as far as food access, I would say more preserving, like
local
land or.
Well, we have to think about
Preserving existing infrastructure, like land, knowledge, something around
get that, preserving resources.
Resources, I think is good.
there.
That's good.
Resources.
That could mean knowledge, that could
Yeah.
mean land, that could mean
So
infrastructure.
Local developing? Yeah,
Yeah.
preserving existing and developing.
Someone had mentioned it, the cross sector.
Through, yeah, maybe through cross-sector collaboration at the end, yeah.
Innovation and cross.
Well, no, inclusive is fine.
So an inclusive, sustainable food system,
That
promoting or valuing.
Yeah, what's thoughts on equitable instead of inclusion?
Love it.
I mean, at that point, yeah, because it's already one of the ED.
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
We're gonna get flagged, we're gonna get flagged. So
Yeah.
Equitable, sustainable food system, promoting access or that promotes.
That promotes. Oh, maybe participation and cross-sector collaboration while preserving.
Yeah, and
Okay.
rules sustainable that promotes access, education, and collaboration, period. And then you erase all of it.
No, okay, hold on.
Oh, no.
Access, you have it on your thing though too, so
Yeah.
access, education, collaboration, period,
Yes.
okay. Focus on preserving
And developing.
or including.
I like focus. I feel like we're missing like a subject or something at the beginning. The first sentence just doesn't have like a subject.
It's not,
What-
yeah. I don't think we need the period.
Our shared vision is an equitable. Oh, that's right, you're
Say
right.
like
We haven't said what it
What
is. We haven't said what it is. That makes sense.
Yeah. So just
It's an
like-
equitable, so what is it?
But what is?
What is the equitable sustainable?
Like our shared, our vision.
Our
is-
vision is.
An equitable, sustainable food system that promotes access, education, and collaboration. And
You say
then-
it inspires innovation and cross-sector. Something like that.
All persons inspires innovation.
What was the
Wait,
part
what
that you
happened to
erased?
the preservation?
Yeah.
Preservation of resources.
Preservation and development.
Develop resources.
Yeah, that looks good.
Inspiring innovation.
Inspire, I think it would change to inspires instead of inspiring.
And then I would just put the cross-sector collaboration in front of the other collaboration.
Yeah.
Just no other change, instead of ending with it.
Got it.
It preserves and develops resources. So what's the third thing that we want to add to that clause?
Preserves and develops
Resources,
resources.
inspires innovation and
Economic opportunities.
economic opportunity.
One more time. So, our vision is an equitable, sustainable food system that promotes access, education, and cross-sector collaboration. It preserves and develops resources, inspires innovation, and economic opportunity. And creates economic.
Hold on, there should be a verb before economic opportunities.
Yeah,
There's a
this
verb.
is a create.
Create
Oh,
economic.
create.
Yeah.
Wow, these useful guys.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Our vision is an equitable, sustainable food system that promotes access to education, cross-sector collaboration. It preserves and develops, resources, inspires innovation. Yeah. No, you're good. This has been a long time for me to do like, these shots, so imagine. Perfect.
Yay, good job, guys.
Yeah. These are coming.
Yeah, it's fun.
So much more.
Yeah, and
Yeah. And the work that we
Always
do in the
outside.
program, and like how we can support what we're trying to, that's been a huge part of what Amanda's been bringing to the table is like, this is the opportunity area in our backyard.
Yes.
Perfect. All
I
right.
do want to add one more, just to give you a preview for our next meeting, so that you can kind of be prepared as well. If I can, is that we're going to be doing a stakeholder analysis. Okay, so we're going to brainstorm who we can be recruiting to our January meeting. Like I said, the January working group will be a kickoff. These are the goals I mentioned. We want 20 outside attendees, and we want to recruit from our network and beyond, get more people in the network, get more people to show up. And so we're going to be filling out contact information. So start brainstorming before, get that contact info so that we don't have to be like, let me go find that email. Try to come prepared if you're going to join us next month. And then, yeah, we'll do our meeting ratings. And then I need you guys to sign this paper before you leave too. That says that you agree to what we're doing right now.
All the events are on the platform.
Yes.
If you're ever interested, the links, the dates, everything will be on there through December. So we should be putting our, I don't know, January one or next year ones soon.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I would look at the platform.
All right, cool.
No, I
Is
think
it-
it's such a great. I love it. You see more people on it.
But then, so every meeting we do meeting ratings for our working group members so that we can see if we've been, how everybody feels about the meeting, if it went well. But I'm gonna do it on my phone because I'm not logged into the stuff on here. So for participation, Nicole, how would you rate this 1 out of 5?
I'm gonna say 5.
All right. Elizabeth says 5. Jeanette?
5.
Sweet. Okay. And for achievement, what did we accomplish? Should we do what we set out to do?
Yes.
5.
1 5s.
You know, what's funny is that Beg Trainer song was on in the. I'm kidding.
Oh, I used it earlier.
It's about listening. We're people focused and mindful of listening.
I'm gonna say 5.
I'll say 5.
And last one, did we stick to our agenda and use our time wisely?
Yes. And we got the extra. Thank you. And our visitor said that. So.
Great.
Well, hopefully we get you to come back, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, come back to our other meetings. I do want to ask you guys for January. We normally meet at the Entrepreneur Collaborative Center. And in January they didn't have the small room. We can't do like food in there, and we plan to do that. So, but the big room is not available till 12:30. Would that be okay to make our meeting in January 12:30 to 2:30 and 30 minutes later?
Yeah.
Okay, because I went ahead and said yes while I had them and had the reservation, but I was like, I need to make sure. I want to get it.
No,
way to do it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I almost wonder if we do it from, like, we book it from 12:30 to 3, so we have the 30 minutes to get,
That's fine.
That's a good idea.
that way we can set up, right, network a little bit before,
Okay, and we can talk about that at the other meeting.
Okay,
I just wanted to
anytime.
make sure, like,
time.
12:30.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we have 2 minutes left, is there anything?
It's on the platform in December.
Good.
Yeah, it's already- So January is.
That's true.
Fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for including me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.